couple of different things today. As everybody has seen in my previous videos, we've been messing around with agentic coding and building out systems across the various use cases that are, available to us publicly. You probably saw I did the recreation of Medicare.gov. I also have been toying around with the claim core, which is an RFI that came out recently. I took that information from the RFI as well as some other information that is available from previous, sources sought notices and various other aspects of the CWF system. And I went ahead and produced that. So then I got to thinking, I was like, all right, well, let's try and build out a fully integrated set of systems, right? And see if the agentic coding would be able to do that. So without further ado, I'm going to quickly share my screen. So this is Claim Core. Again, just taking the requirements that were put out by CMS in the RFI and kind of reverse engineering them into what is a quasi functioning rendering of their vision, again, with limited information. So, you got kind of like an overview dashboard. This is a claims adjudication type of pipeline, which allows you to see real-time claims being processed. I think it actually functions. I can show you guys that. This is like a policy engine where you can go and add specific rules. You can look at certain directives, impact analysis. You could launch against, test various scenarios and audits, created it that way. And then here, there's a little fraud detection kind of rendering. Of course, I have no idea what FPS looks like from the inside, and these are all obviously fake records that not real PHI or PII here, but it just kind of went through and did some generic analysis of them and various reasons, right? This is an intelligence log that tells you, okay, the provider submitted 50 claims in less than 1 minute. That's going to be flagged. Or the beneficiary geo mismatching, right? Beneficiaries in Florida and the service was in New York. Can't happen. So it flags it. And there's some general logic that it built into the system, I think, for processing claims to do that. And then here you'll have, again, some dashboards, right, that it can provide, and some additional analytics around that. Actually even tried to create like a little AI engine that does analysis of flag claims. Let's try to run some claims here. I did create generic. Let's see here. This is a 837i file. Let's see if it does this. So it looks like it may or may not process this. I don't know. 50 claims processed. Looks like 6 were denied. Amount paid, but processed it real time, or showed it as processing. Let's see. I believe there are 6 denied claims. That being said, I want to show you guys another system that I created, which I think I shared this with folks in the past, right? Here we are creating a system like Medicare.gov, right? A user can log in and, come in and try to find a plan, enroll in a plan. Let's just try this here. Let's see what plans there are. Okay, I want to enroll in this Humana Choice plan. Gonna enroll. It creates a name for this person. I'm gonna give this person a name, Python. And I want to show you guys another system. And then the third system that I created is the next generation desktop, which is a help desk CRM solution that is set up for callers that are either in Medicare or Marketplace, and they're looking for contact support. And it was cool the way this system was set up was that users can come in and make a phone call. So here I'll simulate a phone call.
Incoming call from Robert Anderson. Inquiry, is my cataract surgery covered?
Okay, Robert wants to know if his cataract surgery is covered. So what we're going to do is hello, and I'm chatting with it so that it just instead of a phone call, because I don't have a real phone system connected. Uh, Robert, what is your MBI?
Sure, my Medicare number is I don't have my card with me right now.
Oh, I can't help you, Robert. Let's try someone else. It randomly is making calls and phone numbers here. I had it do that so that it would discard. No Medicare card, so I can't just close it without. Can't just close it without giving a case. So it's got some cool little fail safes. Now, again, this came by the way of requirements from an RFI that CMS had created, and then a couple of different analysis of things like, again, publicly available information. There's the privacy impact assessment and other systems like that. I'm going to do it
Incoming
again.
call from Richard Anderson.
Let's see if
Inquiry, I need to update my address.
Hello, what is your MBI? Let's hope you have.
Sure, my Medicare number is MBI10432QX.
All right, so I'm going to take his MBI and I am going to go not to the home page, but the context. I am not familiar with how Siebel is structured as a CRM. I'm going to go ahead and query. There it is. That is Richard Anderson. Let's validate. What is your date of birth?
I was born on January 13th, 1972.
All right, looks like he's validated, verified. And I'm looking at his contact information and his profile, he's got an address. What is your new address?
My current address is showing here as undefined, in Baltimore.
Okay, all right.
In Baltimore.
We'll update that one. So what we can do is create a service request. General inquiry, nope, data correction, eligibility demographics. Send that information to maybe Mark's update address to undefined street in Baltimore. Baltimore, Maryland. Create. Data correction request. Okay, perfect. It's been sent. It's going to get sent to Elmore Marks. Again, these interfaces were all based on like requirements, things of that nature. This person doesn't have any appeals. Looks like they don't have claims. Although it's possible for us to pull that information. What I wanted to show here, another little feature, so I talked about integrated systems, was when I go and look for, I'm going to sync with Mark's, and you guys just saw I had put in my name. All right, and this was the, so this was the MBI it created for me. So now let's go in here and view, and there we go. There's the profile. Um, you can see that was that Humana plan we had picked, right? There's the profile information. Again, these integrations, like we said, coming from the requirements of the system. We're in the RFI, so not all of it's tied up or connected, but sources of like NDW, marks, CWF, claim, which we were just messing around with claim core. And then even, I think, click in here and see the actual benefits package. Oh, no, this one doesn't have it. Probably because when I did the import from Marks, I did not bring the benefits package information with me. But again, you can create service requests, which all are very similar to any CRM platform. And what it did here, interesting enough, was it took as a part of those specs that I fed the agent, were the specs of like user manuals for Siebel and kind of some of the structures that were available in Siebel. And I coupled that with the specs from the RFI for requirements for the NGD system, and it created these interfaces. So I didn't actually go in and write to them in any way, shape, or form. It just, to assume that if I'm going to create a service request, these are the types of inquiries that NGD would likely get. It knew the types of information people are asking questions about, and then also the interfaces or where things may or may not need to go in various escalation paths. So I thought that was very interesting. And no claims here. Obviously, this is someone who would be enrolled in Medicare Part C or D. Not going to have their claims here. They'd have drug events. It also looks like they can integrate with Mass for appeals information. And it looks like you can get provider information as well. So interesting enough, I did not port over all the details. It just ported my enrollment. I should have ported my provider information as well, and my plan information, which again, with these agents, it's amazing. You go in, you just prompt, and within seconds, it generates the code and gets everything that you would need that can move forward and add these features. Again, these are just out of the box features for Siebel and likely part of NGD. I'm not, again, not very specific, but you can feed it a knowledge base. And so here I fed it a knowledge base about Medicare specific things. And the purpose behind that was this agent that I created as well, where let's say, for example, what happens if I miss the enrollment window? And we'll see if it actually comes back with anything. Enrollment period, it starts to give you information about that enrollment period, and you can tune this this agent so that it can give you more specific information, whether it be looking at this knowledge base or feeding it data like a RAG, and it comes back with more information that can help you. And this was supposed to be a bilateral thing where you've got, chatting with the user, and then you also have an agent next to you here that supports you. All right, excellent. So I just wanted to quickly show you guys that with this, we can build a whole bunch of integrated systems and services using, again, these agent coding to build out real life use cases that we could test out. And that includes having systems independently update data, and then that data be integrated with another application or system for the purpose of testing it out. All right. Hope this was helpful, and look forward to more videos. Thank you.